Hi, I'm Kathy Callahan Brady, and welcome to In the Trenches. Today we have our first client interview, and this one's going to be really good. This is Mike Herron from GOEFER.
Thanks you so
for
much.
coming.
Thanks for having me on. This is an honor to be here.
Yeah, we always do things. I mean, you're definitely my guinea pig.
You're scraping the barrel when you got me here. I mean,
No, we're going to get into the good stuff now.
Oh, okay.
So
We'll
In
see.
the Trenches, the whole point behind it was that we were going to get transparent, vulnerable, and tell the real story of building businesses.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
The real stuff. Because everyone thinks it's easy, right? And it is easy.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
You were my
Takes
first
5
client.
minutes.
Yeah, you came in 3 years ago, and it overnight success. Had
Perfect.
no problems
Straight
at all.
hockey stick. Yep. Tons of cash.
Yeah.
Big workforce.
I remember this big, huge business plan that you came in. You were going to go like this.
Yeah.
You're going to have this big
Within 6 months.
manufacturing. Oh yeah.
6 months.
Yeah. So how did it really go?
Let's see. Life took a giant hammer
Yeah.
and just reminded me that's not at all how it happens, which is funny because I'm so driven by schedules. I love my schedules.
Right.
I'm prior military. I like my little lane and my milestones. And that made sense on paper. I don't know why that failed on almost every way, but somehow it did. Yeah, it's just, I thought I had it all figured out. I thought I knew the customers. I thought I knew how we're going to do it, the software, all of that. And what better way to start a company than one that's not at all in your area of expertise?
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest that. That's
No,
maybe not.
Well, come on, this was a little bit in your expertise.
Well, I knew the problem. Yeah, I knew the
exactly.
problem. I knew the pain it caused, especially in our sector. I did not know the solution or the tech how to do it, with the exception of just physically doing it. But yeah, I knew the pain. Actually, I lost a job because of the pain. So I knew firsthand how energy efficiency can affect people. And when you don't have enough data to convince an executive, hey, I need you to do this, and they're like, well, prove it. And then you can't prove it. Thanks, but no thanks.
And then how do you convince people that this is actually a little bit more than just a power strip? Because I can get this one anywhere except for the little, I could get one of those little G's and stick it.
Yeah, I got a
right?
sticker.
Yeah.
That's funny too, because when we first started, we didn't have the product. I kind of had this vision. And believe it or not, having the strip is making the sale so much easier because now they can touch it, they can feel it, they can feel the weight of it. This is a third version. We went through several versions. We purposely landed with one that looks like a power strip because people can connect to that. But as soon as they get the app, as soon as they see the dashboard, as soon as they realize that basically this isn't a power strip, this has 6 micro smart meters built into it. So basically it acts like a bunch of energy engineers. So they're sitting underneath their desk and they're doing a bunch of calculations and they're showing you where to save money and how to save money. And when they see waste, they unplug it for you. So it's basically having a private engineer tucked underneath everyone's desk. That's really been, because it is a power strip, but it's necessary. We have to have this. This takes the readings, this does the control, but that's about all it does. All the smart and the cool and the geeky stuff is on the back end. That's what really, separates us from just a power strip or even a smart strip. Those things drive me crazy. Oh, you're a smart strip, right? No, we're not a smart strip because most smart strips that you buy, they have this weird relationship. They have a parent and a child relationship. Well, that might work, but say you have a router and a desktop computer on the same strip, or you're at home and you have your DVR and your, something else, your kid's nanny cam. You're not going to unplug those. So those models break because the parent says, I'm the parent, unplug me. It doesn't work. This is customizable. You tell us how you want to control it. We show you what works, what doesn't, and then you control what's important to you because we shouldn't tell you how to unplug your stuff.
Yeah, and the only problem is people are used to power strips, and so I have to tell you, I was like, it's on. Why is I not getting? Oh, I did.
Gotta hit the button
on that individual one.
Yeah.
I actually did that.
Yeah. That happens.
Yes.
That happens. It's funny story because before people get the app, they do this. It's kind of cool. You can touch them and all that kind of stuff. The next thing we learned is people would plug these into an existing power strip because it's already tucked behind the wall.
Right, and it's easier.
And it's easier. Well, what it does is, hey, and happen, people we shall not remain nameless. My power strip keeps popping. Well, that's because this was popping the other one.
Oh, okay.
Right, and that's what was breaking the chain. Once we educated them, hey, you got to plug this in the wall just like normal. In fire code, you don't want to daisy chain them.
So by using this, then companies can save money?
Yeah, basically is in a building, before Pluglo, there's 2 opportunities. You have heating, air conditioning, and lights. Up to 3 years ago, that was it. You know, you had a bunch of off-the-wall thinkers that talked about plug load, which is electronics, right? Computers, phones. But that was it. That was I mean, you own an organization. You know, if I got to look at mechanical and lighting, otherwise tell people to not use electricity. Those are your only two
that
choices.
would be nice, but that
They
doesn't
don't do
work
that.
very well.
What we're discovering is plug load is a third. And it's a big third because there's 7 things plugged in for every person as an average. And half of that is wasted. It's just simple. I mean, there's 8,760 hours in a year. You're only working 1,800 or so.
Yeah,
That's simple math. I mean, wait a minute. I'm paying this. I'm only using this. I need to unplug that delta. In its simplest form, that's what it does. It unplugs the waste, gives complete transparency so you know what you're spending. It's not me telling you, hey, trust me, we're great. I know we can do this.
Right.
No, the dashboard is going to show you exactly complete transparency.
And then the really cool part is you know what is really costing you money.
Yes.
Like my coffee pot.
Your coffee pot. I use that all the time.
I know, I love that.
Yep.
It's like, that coffee pot's got to go.
Mike's computer is $165 computer.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
The other mic. Okay,
yeah.
we got it. So let's talk about, it's taken you 3 years to get to this point. Take us down the journey and all of the really fun things and the number of times that you said, that's it, I'm done. I quit. And I
Oh my
said,
gosh.
no, you're not. You don't get to quit.
Wow. I think the first thing was it took, from the time I had the idea, I kind of stayed away from it because I was scared. I mean, I'm a project manager. I don't know this kind of stuff. I stayed away from it for about 6 months. Then you and I met and I kind of started thinking, okay, this could be done. And then I had remember that first early partner from overseas that wanted $10 million in half my company? And
Yeah.
that was a train wreck and that almost wiped me out.
Right.
And then, you know, found Jared to come on board and we kind of started slow. And, you know, I discovered that A, software is never going to be done. And B, it's never going to be fast as I want it to be done. Because in construction, they bring me a set of plans and a schedule, and I can watch it grow. I can watch the building go up.
Right.
This was complete. This is kind of area, you know. That was difficult, learning the slow process, learning how much it cost. And then ultimately, when he left the company, that was a big. That hurt. Yeah, that almost sank both me personally and at home, and also the company because you know he was half the company.
Right.
I mean, he really was the tech side. I was the mouth. I tell people I was the mouth, and he was the brain behind the actual making this work.
And what was the lesson there?
Oh my gosh.
Or the lesson?
Yeah, the lesson was definitely get more documentation set up early, and those are hard conversations to have. I mean, we're still friends, thank God. It took us a lot of months to kind of nurture things. But and a lot of money. Yeah, lawyers got involved. That was a substantial check to write. But yeah, I guess what I learned is to have those tough conversations early, have some type of documentation, and set a communication protocol. You know, I tend to overtrust, and I should have been a little better about, hey, what's your 1 week milestone? What's your 2 week milestone? Where are we hitting? Because it was kind of built in this void that I really didn't understand, and it created animosity, it created frustration both from him and from me, and it just was not, you know, now I have a great engineering firm that's helping us. I get updates every day. I know exactly what's going on. They obviously push back because that's one, you know, Mike, this won't work, do this later.
Right.
You know, that's cool, but nobody wants that now.
Minimum viable
Exactly.
product.
Yeah, just because I can build a Swiss Army knife, you need a butter knife.
Right.
I just want to toast bread. So, you know, learning that early on was, and the fact that I can survive. The company is not just one particular person. It's the idea and the vision can hold throughout. And I felt like a divorce. It was, I mean, you and I talked. There were some dark days.
I remember.
Yeah, and they leached at home. I could not do this without Margie and the kids. There's no way.
I think that's a huge lesson too, that people don't realize. If you don't have that kind of support at home, I don't even think you should jump into it.
Exactly right. And I think that's kind of what deteriorated things on his end because it was harder to get that support.
Well, he is also a different person.
He
too,
is,
which I think is the lesson too.
Yeah, and you told me.
An entrepreneur and an employee.
Yes. You, Mike. Are you sure? Are you sure? And I just no.
I like
Mike's smart. Mike's smart. I know. Oh my gosh. So, but I think really to survive, because you know, people think it's like this, and it's like this, and then it's still just even high. There's still peaks and valleys.
Yes.
and knowing that I can go home and no matter what, she's got my back. Now, there's been times she's like, I'm done. If I hear one more gopher word or see a power strip, you're sleeping on the curb.
Exactly.
That's been a little rough at times. God bless her. She's like, you're going to be buried in a power strip box. I'm going to lock up that, put little tattoos on me and put me in a coffin. Get with him. That separation was painful, but ultimately the company is stronger for it.
So how do you ride the ups and downs? Because I've always said the entrepreneurial roller coaster is tough, and when you hit those, which you pretty much do every other day, because you're getting funded, yes, tomorrow. Great.
Here comes a bill out of nowhere you didn't see coming. Or a customer cancels.
Right.
It's.
Or how about raising money too?
That's another fun journey. Mm-hmm. Really, I can't explain it. It's just like the thought of giving up just doesn't stick. I mean, it might pop up for a little bit, but if you can get through that little nagging feeling, and I can't describe it. It would feel wrong to quit. It would feel wrong to stop. It doesn't feel right. It's something.
Do you think that's because that's who you are?
Oh, I don't think I'm that special. I think I'm just lucky.
No, actually, I think you are, because I remember the very first time you brought in that business plan, and I went, "Oh, good God, this."
You told me it sucked too.
Did I? I don't think we're supposed to say that.
Oh, sorry.
But
that's terrible.
It was. It was really horrible. Because there was no way.
But I had big words. I did thesaurus. I spelled right. Maybe that wasn't a good plan.
I just lost my train of thought completely on that one. I really did.
Squirrel moment.
Lose it on that one. Sorry. But I was thinking about just the first time when you came in, and it was this up and down, up and down, up and down between all the different ones. But I remember looking at the plan. I thought, wow, he's got something here. But you know what did it? I went, military. He doesn't know how to quit. He's going to just keep going and going and going. And not everybody has that grit, passion, whatever it is, DNA, little crazy, because
it's a
the
lifestyle.
number of times you could have quit. And you did go home a couple times.
Oh yeah, bruised and battered, and it's been. I mean, there was times in the last couple years. I mean, we've sold everything. We've given stuff away. Margie's cleaned the neighbor's toilet, and I've done construction work and taught and all kind of stuff. Oh, the kitchen's still not done. Bless her heart. 5 years that kitchen. Bless. Oh, she's gonna get her kitchen someday. May not be in this house, but she's gonna get it someday. But it just, and then I get low and I talk to you and other mentors and like, you're close,
Yeah, you're too close to
Yeah, and hearing that from other people who have built businesses and like, you've done so much with so little. In your mind, you're not there, but looking out, it's gonna work. And having them really to help. I mean, remember, my mother-in-law bought me new shoes for Christmas last year.
3 years in.
Yeah, 3 years in. I was a CEO. Oh, you're a CEO of a company. Yeah, no, I super glue my shoes almost every meeting. I have one tie, one suit to kind of tuck in, right? Carter, a couple months ago, my oldest, he said, Dad, if they see GOEFER on Shark Tank, like, boy, he came out of nowhere. They're going to have no idea. I was like, no, they're not going to have any clue, My kids come in and put stickers on stuff, and can't give up.
That's for sure.
If it's your vision.
What kind of advice? I won't ask you about the book thing, right? Because you don't have any time to read.
What are books? Is that pop-ups? If I have a pop-up, that would be great. Yeah, little words.
Vaughn's going to come back and ask you if you finished reading.
Did you read The Great Crossing the Chasm?
Because it is a really good book.
And I'm like halfway through it. It's still sitting there.
All right. So what advice would you leave?
You have to be humble.
Yes.
You have to be humble. You have to be open to asking everyone for help. Yeah. If you think you got this figured out, you're wrong. And as soon as you think you're right, the world's going to remind you how wrong you are. And there's no way I survived this long without just this amazing group of people that kind of pop in and out as needed, just to kind of put it back together. So, just know it's going to take longer than you want. Don't be afraid to hustle. I mean, I'm up at 5 o'clock. I'm still going till 11 o'clock at night, 7 days a week.
Oh, this isn't a part-time job?
Oh, no, totally. Yeah, I mean, I got bots to do everything, Not afraid to hustle. Surround yourself with mentors that really can help and support you. and be humble enough and wise enough to ask for help. Otherwise, you're just going to keep hitting that wall.
Yeah.
And it hurts. I've done it a dozen times or so.
Well, great advice.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna
what I would
have you
do.
back on in 2 years.
I'll still be wearing red.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the color, but that's your color.
Hey, people get it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much. This
I
has been great.
appreciate it.
I look
Yeah.
forward to coming back and,
It's been fun.
yeah, like a no name.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for watching In the Trenches. Check us out, fitzy.org, and you can hear all about our great advisors, our crazy clients that are on this entrepreneurial journey. Have a great day.